The forgotten lens. There's a moment, just a split second, that can change everything. For me, it was when my mother looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're an embarrassment to this family." I was standing there, just 15, clutching my camera like a lifeline, trembling with the weight of my dreams. I could almost hear the laughter of my father and brothers in the background, a mocking symphony that would haunt my thoughts for years. They thought my aspirations to become a forensic photographer were absurd. "What's next?" my brother sneered. "You think you're going to solve crimes with your little snapshots?" That day, I felt crushed under the weight of their derision. I didn't just hear their words, they sank into my skin, embedding themselves in my very identity. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't see, was that my dreams had become a raging fire within me. A determination fueled by their scorn. I wanted to prove them wrong, to show them that I could redefine what it meant to capture truth. So I left. I abandoned the familiar confines of that home, that life, and I pursued my passion with a relentless fervor. I fought through the stigmas of being a woman in a male-dominated field, studied forensic science relentlessly, and eventually found my niche in forensic photography. Every day felt like a battle. Every crime scene I documented pushed me further into a world where I could make a difference. Just snapshotting, they called it, as if the precision of my work, the clarity of my images didn't matter. But I knew better. Each photograph told a story, revealed a truth, and ultimately served justice. I captured evidence that overturned wrongful convictions, helped put criminals behind bars, and restored dignity to victims. The accolades began to roll in, and slowly but surely, I made a name for myself. Years later, after clawing my way through the muck and mire, I stood on the precipice of success. I was now the lead forensic photographer for a prestigious agency. My work showcased in high-profile cases, and my name recognized in the field. Yet, despite my accomplishments, a piece of me remained tethered to that painful past, to the family whose ridicule had once silenced my dreams. And so, I found myself driving back home, the familiar roads twisting and turning like memories I had long pushed aside. I didn't know what to expect. Would they still see me as the failure they had once labeled me, or would they finally understand the depth of my commitment? As I stepped into the house, everything felt achingly familiar, yet foreign. The walls held echoes of laughter, and the air was thick with the scent of my mother's cooking. Yet I felt like a ghost, a specter of the girl they had once ridiculed. They were gathered around the dinner table, the same table where I had endured their mockery. I cleared my throat, and their eyes turned towards me, wide with disbelief. "Look who decided to come back," my brother smirked, but the bravado didn't reach his eyes. "I'm here to show you something," I said, my heart racing. I pulled out my laptop and connected it to the family TV. The screen flickered to life, revealing a montage of my work. Crime scenes transformed into art, justice captured through my lens. Images of courtroom victories, of lives restored, flashed before them. I narrated my journey, the hardships, the triumphs, and the stories of those I had helped along the way. The room was silent, the laughter extinguished. I could see the realization dawning on their faces, the recognition that I had not only survived, but thrived. My mother's eyes glimmered with unspoken words, and my father's expression shifted from disbelief to something resembling pride. But it was my brother's reaction that struck me the hardest. I watched as the mask he wore began to crack. I didn't know, Sarah," he finally admitted, his voice shaky. "I thought you were just playing around." "Playing?" I interrupted, my voice rising with the weight of my emotions. "You think this was a game to me? You called my dreams ridiculous. You thought I would fail." "I was wrong," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. In that moment, I felt a rush of catharsis, as if every ounce of pain I had endured throughout those years was finally being acknowledged. I had transformed from the girl they had dismissed into a woman who had carved her own path, one that was now shining brightly before them. As the montage ended, I closed my laptop, the silence in the room heavy with unspoken apologies. "I'm not here to gloat," I said softly. "I just want you to understand that dreams deserve to be pursued, no matter how ridiculous they seem." My mother reached out, her face a mixture of regret and admiration. "I'm sorry, Sarah," she whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. "I see you now. I see what you've become." In that moment, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. I had not only proven my worth to them, but also to myself. I had turned their mockery into motivation, transforming the barren land of their disbelief into a thriving ecosystem of success. As I left that night, I felt lighter. Unburdened by the weight of their past derision, I had not only reclaimed my dreams, but had also ignited a new understanding within my family. A lesson that dreams, no matter how ridiculous, are worth every struggle, every tear, and every moment of doubt. And that, my friends, is the power of a forgotten lens. It can illuminate not just the truth of the world around us, but the truths buried within ourselves.